Today. Kirby resubscribed 6 months, got a new follow. JJ throwback with bits, and all taken resubscribed. Thank you guys. Yeah, we
It's
simul
on so many platforms, pal.
yeah we simulcasted on Twitch yesterday, and it seemed to do okay. And so I was like, eh. I mean, Sean keeps saying like it's my platform, so that's scary. Because I don't want that responsibility.
That's some old school top guy shit. He's distancing himself from a failure there, pal. You gotta be careful. I know that, guys.
Vince is like, I ain't got nothing to do with NXT. Sean's like, I ain't got nothing to do with Twitch.
I would pay so much to see Vince going to the PC and looking at these guys taking their forward rolls and stuff, you know? Just imagining him, like, seeing the... Because so many of their signings now are just the new indie guy, you know?
Yeah.
Like, young guys, too. Look, you know, guys that haven't fleshed out anything physically, haven't found themselves. It's wild. What a weird promotion that is. Just has like an indie sector. It's so odd.
What up, Ray? How you doing? I don't know why you're doing ruthless aggression. I guess because the indie guys, the Carmelo Hayes was ruthlessly
I liked
aggression.
that too.
It was good. I saw
We
you
didn't talk
were...
about NXT this week, pal.
That was the bit we put in
I
WWE
know.
and did no WWE talk.
Swerve won the title, pal.
I'm glad for him. It seems like Bronson's going up to the main roster. Good luck.
God bless.
But I'm
Yeah.
glad Swerve got the belt. I like
Someone was like, people are so negative about Bronson going to the main roster. Like, why? So, what do you mean, why? You know, like, oh, of course they're negative. Like, bless Bronson, he's a talented guy, but much more talented guys have fallen victim to the main roster booking. You know, like it's not nothing hate on him. It's just it is what it is. It's hard.
Yeah.
Swerve's great. My issue with Swerve is that like he's the best heel in the promotion, but he's also like way just like more charismatic and cool than the baby faces. So I don't really know what you're gonna do with that. I thought in that backstage in this week and last week, I thought he just like the screen was
Dude.
his. Like he just come across
He
so much more. Just dynamite. You know, I can't even explain it.
he ate Bronson in that promo segment.
See, this is
Like,
what I didn't want to say, but yeah, that's what and I thought the same. Like both times, Bronson felt like a guy playing, and he was like living that character. You know,
yeah, yeah.
it's just different, man. It's honestly. Do you know what else was like that? Was the MSK segment with Ciampa and Thatcher? Is like, I know that Thatcher is pretty popular, but Ciampa is. I hear there's other stuff with Ciampa, but I don't know about it. Like that promo segment, I was like, man, they really just like sent these guys out to die, these poor MSK, because the crowd already hates them. They already boo them for some reason. And here they are, like trying to be baby faces, and Ciampa's cutting a good promo, and Thatcher's got no teeth. It's fuck. I feel like they got to protect guys. Like another one, same show. All of these are on the same show. And by the way, I like the show. You got to stop putting Kyle O'Reilly in the ring with a mic opposite Adam Cole.
Oh, that was
Cole
another
murders
one.
him. He murders him.
That was another one that like
And I
Yeah.
get it. You
he
guys
got
are trolls. That's your
he
whole
got ate
gimmick.
up, man. He got
Yeah,
ate
man.
up. Like we rock all night. Appreciate the resubscription, subscribing with Prime 6 months. I shouted out earlier, but I'll do it again. Kirby Freeman resubscribing with the Prime. He's been here for 6 months. And he left the message that says Jeremy and Joseph and the other guys of Fightful. Yeah, I don't care about them. Are truly awesome dudes. Hashtag distraction choice. Point God. Chubby Chief. Japan Hogan. OU Mega. Followed. JJ had the bits. Throwback had a raid. Throwback had some bits as well. And Noel Taken resubscribing with the Prime for 3 months. Use that Prime sub, guys. I haven't seen JJ message in the chat, but if he's here or if someone wants to hit the
Coward, JJ.
Prime.
Where are you, JJ? God damn it.
hit the Prime gimmick. I'll tell my JJ getting over story once I see him. There's Joel Pearl. Joel Pearl's here to do it. Ray Callahan's doing it as well. I think Ray probably got blocked from doing it because Joel just did it. Yeah, they like Bronson's a guy that his mic work I can see working on the main roster because that's the shit Vince probably wants. Franco with the bits, 95. Appreciate it, buddy. What was your question, Throwback? I'm sorry. When we're on the main show like that, with the bit stuff, we appreciate the bits. You're better off not look, I'd rather have the bits because that goes to us instead of the super chats. But you're better off like not leaving a question with the bits, especially like we were in the middle of our emotional stuff, so I wasn't gonna read your stuff about like the championship and whatnot. It didn't seem like the appropriate time.
We were both like nearly crying, so by that point it was show had taken a turn.
Yes.
We were talking about babyfaces dying on NXT.
Oh yeah, so I think Vince will like that promo style from Bronson, and that's fine. But like as an NXT viewer, Bronson got ate up. O'Reilly, I don't think Vince is gonna like it, and I don't think it's working. And he got ate up too. Like, that's it. JJ, you were supposed to cheer bits, and Joel Pearl beat you. So now you have to give us bits, JJ, because you didn't do your job. You have to pay us.
That's aggressive. Okay. I'm correct that you'll probably not get a tearful reflection on the last year of TW.
But we will do more 30 for 30.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah.
We're doing this media call, Joseph. I really think we're going to do this media call. We're going to do it on Twitch one week, and we're going to do
speaking of that, okay, here's the question. Throwback says, Joe, who wins the triple threat match for a prediction show? Jeremy, JJ, Bob O'Neill. I get the sense JJ's going to win that one. The heels...
Fair.
JJ's definitely a heel because he likes total non-stop action. Jeremy, depends what crowd you're working to. In Japan, Bob's the babyface because they love his hot sort of style. But in America, I see Jeremy as the babyface in that one, as a sort of Kurt Stallion-esque figure.
It's very mean.
That's what I'm going for.
It's mean.
But no, Kurt Stallion's good.
He doesn't have a job right now.
Am I allowed to like him? Is he another guy that's a dipshit?
I don't think so, but I'm not positive.
Oh, fuck. Wrestling's so hard these days, guys.
Yeah, it is.
Do you think Bob... No, he's not. No. Jeremy's going to get rolled up by JJ inside Cradle. Bob's out there working like Bad Luck Fale. Now that's mean. TNA was never the babyface. They're called TNA. Come on. We were talking about wrestling. 100 bits, my god. JJ rules.
Go ahead, talk about this. I do have a gimmick proposal for the Twitch channel after we wrap up this discussion.
I have one too.
Okay.
So I'll do my gimmick, you do yours, and then we'll go back to talking about wrestling. Have you seen this thing on the network called The Ultimate Show?
Yes, I have. I mean, I haven't watched it, but I know what it is. I
watched one of these things and like nearly just destroyed my phone. I was so angry. And I've decided I'm just doing it. Like, I've decided I will do this show now. I don't know if you want to join me, Jeremy. I think we're going to try and get Bob O'Neill. We're definitely going to get Chris, because Chris, it seems like a shitty version of Chris's really awesome concept of drafting shows.
Yeah.
Is this a Patreon thing, or is this a Twitch thing? What do we think?
I think we can do this on Patreon. I like this for Patreon.
Right, cool. Yeah. Pay up! No, I'm messing. No, I think so. So that's something we could do. Okay, that's established. What was your bit? And then we'll go back to talk about wrestling, apparently.
Okay. 883. I'm completely stealing this from Tyler Breeze's channel. But they do this gimmick where, like, you cheer bits, like 500 bits, because I think that's like $5. So you cheer like 500 bits, and you get entered into a tournament, essentially, like a video game gimmick, right? And like you get that wrestler, and then we simulate the thing, and then if you win, you get a cash payout. Does this make sense? Like so like if you do a rumble, like let's say we do a rumble, and you cheered 500 bits.
I've seen him do these. Actually.
Yeah,
yes.
And that gets you entered, and you get your number, whatever your number is, and then if your number wins the simulation, you get the cash prize off of that.
Works for me, pal. It works for me. It does sound somewhat carny, but I'm for it. I mean, the money gets, but fuck it.
It goes back to people,
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we're keeping all of it, keeping part of it, but no, we're keeping all of it.
I just personally try not to steal the bits of carny motherfuckers that are trying to steal money from the marks, but I'm happy to do it in this case.
I just think it's kind of cool. If people don't like it, that's fine.
It's their choice. I'm not. Yeah. I'm just messing around. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. We got. I mean, look, Tuesday is like not a show anymore. It's just like we just thought we'll do this on Tuesday. So
Yeah.
yeah, we shall see. What did I? I was going to talk about wrestling again, wasn't I?
Sure.
I'm interested what the chat thinks. We've got 26 people. 26 people in here, so I'm interested. What is Bronson Reed's ceiling? I'm genuinely intrigued on this because I can be swayed either way. And if you would like me to give you some comparisons, I'll give you. Okay, here's what I've got. Okay, I'll give you a guy from SmackDown and two guys from Raw. Big E. Oh my God, everyone's saying Rikishi already. Big
Well, that
E.
seems bad.
Priest, Riddle, Reed. Those four guys. Give me their ceiling. Like rank them as best you can, guys. I'm really intrigued. As far as Riddle, we all know the deal. Try your best to look past that because frankly they're going to look past that. So
Yes.
you know, I'm intrigued. Mid card champ has come out a couple of times here, which seems like fair. Bob O'Neill goes Big E, Riddle, Reed, Priest. Wow, Bob has Priest last. Sean has E, Riddle, Priest, Reed. Reed's last says Reese, which is my instincts. Okay, Ray's got Big E, Priest, Riddle, Reed. Okay, I'm seeing where this is. Okay, in fear of being mean to Bronson Reed, I'm glad to say I'm not alone on this one. Okay, we'll move on with him being last in the rankings. There you go. 100 bits is $1. 500.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So 500 bits.
Oh, Joel's just setting the folks straight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Cross is below Reed. Yes. Yes. Priest is interesting. I'm surprised that Bob O'Neill has him last. I think Priest has got something, man.
I think Priest. I'll give my take in a second. I'm working on AEW ratings. It was 883 for people who cares.
Yes. It seems Riddle is he's really won people over as a wrestler, not a human being. Power Anna has got Riddle, E, Priest, Reed. Priest is too old to have a sustained run. That's fair. That's very, very fair. They seem to be making Riddle the guy. Well, I'm fucking sorry to hear that, Robert O'Neill. Let me tell you, I'm very sorry to hear that. The guy in this business? Oh, man. See, here's my question for you, Bob O'Neill, right? If Riddle wrestles another dipshit, do you not watch the show like you don't watch AEW when they have two dipshits wrestle? I'm intrigued.
The demographic rating, by the way, for AEW was very good. Because the last Wednesday show like completely fell off. It was a 0.28. It was a 0.35 last night. So,
Bob, you said yes. Does that mean you do watch or you don't? Ray has Priest second, but you could see him and Riddle being swapped. Depends on how they book Priest. He's not been well compared to Riddle. Crackerjet says, I don't watch Raw, but they think of Riddle like they thought of RVD in the early 2000s. Something like that. Throwback has got E, Riddle, Reed, Priest. Bob O'Neill apparently does not watch matches with two problematic wrestlers. Okay, fine. In that case, will you be watching closely? I'm not going to do the bit. I'm not even going to get myself in trouble. I'll leave Bob to get in trouble with those people. I will not do it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I know, but I don't fully.
I'm not. He's a lunatic with that stuff, dude. I ain't, I bet Vince loves Riddle. Loves the Riddle. He loves his shtick. And he's a great wrestler. The crowd will love him. He'll be over as hell. I agree with all of that. They are higher on Riddle. My God, Rob O'Neill says, I think they are higher on Riddle than RVD. They really didn't like RVD for a while. Probably true. See, Franco says, when a dickhead on a micro scooter is top of the list, we have problems. And, I kind of agree. I don't want to be dismissive. He's an act that can get over, especially in that format. And he can have great matches, but, the guy? With the way they book the guy and they have to cut 10-minute promos in the ring and then, I don't know, man. He feels more like a, novelty act on their roster. Riddle has most certainly usurped Big E. Vince sees Riddle the way we see Big E. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. I wouldn't be surprised if he beats Lashley. Oh, dear.
Riddle beats
I
Lashley?
didn't realize things had escalated to this degree, Jeremy. Did you?
Um, so obviously, like, they're high on Riddle. You don't pair people with Randy Orton
Yeah.
if you're not high on them. Like, that's just,
Yeah. He hears voices in his head.
I've heard this, yeah.
Where did you hear it? Not in your own head, right? That would be very scary.
No. I've heard it from the heads of other people.
I'm pretty sure that's worse. You could have just been like, no, I heard it in his theme song, Joe. Shut the fuck up.
The heads of other people have told me that Randy Orton hears voices in his head.
Fair.
Somebody just did Sean Burby with 100 bits says, who in NXT right now that hasn't been on the main roster already could you legit see holding the Universal or the WWE title? Nobody for the Universal, because ain't nobody beating Roman. All right, so give me. I'm wrapping up Dynamite viewership stuff. I have to do another article, but give me the wrestlers again: Riddle, Priest, Bronson, and who?
Big E.
Oh, and this is how WWE views them?
No, this is your personal big bold.
Oh, well, Big E's obviously at the top.
Yes. Sean, I'm going to answer that in a minute. I need to think about it. Go ahead, Jeremy.
I would put Priest second.
I would too.
I would put Riddle third.
Yep.
And I would put Bronson last.
We spent too much time talking to each other. That's exactly right. Okay, let's actually try and figure this out. Who would be NXT's guy that you would say could be a top? You know who I like Escobar a lot.
That's good.
I think Escobar, I could see him with Dak being a top guy. I know people might laugh at that because like he wasn't that in NXT, but I think he's pretty special. I think Adam Cole, although he's not my favourite, I think he has to be high on the list, even though, I think his frame will hurt him with Vince.
So that's my problem with Cole. You know I'm a Cole guy.
Yes.
I think his promo work has gotten even better. Like, I think he's been a good promo during the Undisputed Era stuff, but he's been even better since the split. In-ring work is good, but like the way WWE sees him, I'm just not sure he's holding one of those belts. I'd put one of those belts on him, fine, because I don't give a shit. But like the way he's viewed, I don't think they're gonna see him that same way. I think that's the same thing with like Escobar. It's like, dude, if they won't do shit with Andrade, we really gonna trust they're gonna do shit with Escobar? You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I'll say something, man. We just spoke about him. In a fair world where everyone gets to go out and go over, Swerve has got something, man.
Yes.
Swerve has got an ability to play the villain that, frankly, puts him on a very short list. There are so many guys just doing heel things because that's what heel does. Watch how he just verbalizes. Watch his different little quirks. He is sinister. I'm really high on him in this role. I don't think Vince would get it because, of course, but like, I don't know. I think there's something there. He'd probably be top of my personal board. Could you put Cesaro in that situation? In the top prospect thing, I don't know, man. I think Cesaro is what he is, unfortunately. I'd like to see Riddle and Bob in the fight pit. That's a good call, throwback. Colo for Prez says the problem with WWE is they've turned into an old guy territory. Indeed, people don't make the main roster until the early 30s and aren't main eventers until the late 30s. Yeah, no, it's a problem. It's a way like it's not got nearly the freshness of the other brand, the other promotion, and it isn't just because it's no AEW. Like, they've got young guys climbing. Very different vibe. Okay, what else we got here? I think during the 2020 draft, only 3 male performers were under 30. Wow. Okay. I want to say, Bob O'Neill. Bob O'Neill, you still here? Bob O'Neill, please respond if you're still here. Bob O'Neill. Will you stop watching Monday Night Raw if Matt Riddle is presented as like the Drew McIntyre?
Joseph, question for you. For this, it's I'm right. AEW Dynamite draws over 875,000 viewers with Return to Wednesday on 6:30. Is it Return to Wednesday or Return to Wednesdays? Is it plural?
It's weird. This is not going to make any sense what I'm about to say, but like, it feels like it's Returns to Wednesdays. I think it's either with Return to Wednesdays or with... Yes, no, it's with Return to Wednesdays. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it is plural.
Plural.
Okay.
It's plural. Because that's where that's their night moving forward, yeah.
That's what I thought. It's some of that shit I get very tripped up on.
It's when you when you like keep reading shit, it fucks up your head sometimes.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this stuff, like normal people are gonna read it and they're not appreciate it, right? Like they're not gonna be like they're not gonna call out what it actually is, but I still obviously just want to be correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, when I say presented like Drew, good question, Kylo. Let me expand so Bob can answer. I don't mean like the character. I mean, you know how Drew opens and closes almost every Raw? Like, if Riddle is that, does Bob O'Neill keep watching Raw is my question. Do you guys in the chat keep watching Raw? I'm not saying you shouldn't or should. I'm just asking. I'm intrigued. I think Cesaro to Raw is a good call throwback. I agree. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what this roster. Maybe I'm being unfair. I think there's still immense talent, but like everyone feels so just stuck in place. It's not exciting to me. Robert O'Neill says it's incredibly tough with Riddle because he's one of the best in the world at the moment. But it's nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible to overlook the other stuff. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about all that best in the world stuff. That's I try to avoid that because there's like a lot of wrestlers in the world that I don't watch. You know, it's difficult. I get you, though, Bob. Can't envisage him as the show cornerstone, whereas Big E I can. See, that's where I'm at. Big E's the only guy of those four that I could see doing the like send them home happy, send them home. Hey, can we talk about Bully Ray? Or should we not? Should I have some fun with this? It feels like I should.
If you want, whatever.
Did you see my tweet? And do you think I'm correct?
What was your tweet?
Okay, I'll give you my take.
Yeah, read it. You tweet a lot, Joseph.
I do. I'll expand it, okay? I think in the last 6 weeks, Eddie Kingston has had more great tag matches that don't involve tables, ladders, or chairs than Bubba Ray Dudley did in his whole career. Because he's had 2. And I don't think Bubba has 1.
That's fair. I mean,
And I swear, I say that like it's a rib. I would like the chat to explain. I legitimately do not have any clue what Bubba's best match is with D-Von. Like, yeah, I have no clue.
Yeah, name me a good, just straight up tag team match that Dudley's had.
Yeah, honestly. They definitely have a lot of like sound like 2 3/4 star matches, right? But like, yeah,
I'm gonna go to cage match.
There you go. That's a good idea.
I'm gonna go cage match and see what their highest rated matches are.
Chat's initial reaction is spot on, which is very nice, but I also think is them being honest.
Where can I... Okay, ratings, I guess.
Sometimes cage match gets all fucked up, though, so I hope it actually works.
It's not fucked up. I'm just trying... I don't know how to, like...
I know, but sometimes when you sort, it, like, doesn't... It's weird. It's weird.
Okay, here we go. I got it. Alright, so this was... Yeah, that was definitely a ladder match. Yeah,
just keep saying that.
That was tables, ladders, chairs. This was that was tables, ladders, chairs. This was tables, ladders, chairs.
It's rules.
This was Full Metal Mayhem, which is tables, ladders, chairs. This is Survivor Series Eliminate. That's 5 on 5 on 5. That shit doesn't count. This was 3-way ladder.
What is this legit? Like, is this the whole top line? It feels like it is.
Yeah, these are so you can sort by observer ratings. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
This was just a 6-man tag, so we're not gonna count that. We're just their like normal. Okay, this match here was a tables match. I think this might be it. This might be the one.
Here we go.
Tag team 3-way match. It's 3-way. Are we counting 3-ways?
It's just Sue's in it. I'm intrigued.
Okay. Devon and Dudley's against Hernandez and Homicide and AJ and Daniels. Feel like they didn't do the heavy lifting in this match.
What rating did that one get, Jeremy?
They got 3.5, so it's not even like...
Oh, that's how low we're at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So my point is factual then. 100% true.
As far as just like straight up, like tag team match.
Yeah.
No, that's from One Night Stand, so that was a hardcore match. It looks like it might be this one. No, that was a street fight.
Okay. I'm going to expand this point now. I think it is insane they were rated above the Usos on that tag team list.
Joseph, I found it.
Here we go.
I found it. Their highest rated match that was straight up 2-on-2, just straight tag team match, no street fight, nothing like that. I think they carried this match, honestly. So it's 3.5, and I'll give them a lot of credit because they definitely carried the match against Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe.
Well then, okay. Now look, here's the thing. I'm now going to expand this further. Have you seen this tag team list?
Yeah, I did an article on it.
Dude, the Usos are like...
They
I know this sounds like me in a stand because I've got them like over my shoulder, but like the Usos are better. I refuse the notion they're not better than the Dudley. Like, who in the world is picking the Dudleys before the Usos if they're both still standing in front of them? I don't know, man. Like, look, the Hardys and New Day are a good 1 and 2. I prefer the Usos to both, but I accept on an objective list that they're behind those. I'm fine with that. That's fine. But like, Edge and Christian's hard because here's the thing with Edge and Christian. Talent-wise, we know they could have had classics. The era wasn't that way outside of the ladder, and we get that. But they had a very short run, all things considered, you know? How long were Edge and Christian a top team in the Fed? 2 years?
Yeah, give or take.
Like, I just think the Usos should have at least been third. I really do. No, I get that, I'm crazy. You can prefer if you want. I'm trying to... Hardys, Usos, New Day. You see, that's fair. I think New Day is the objective number one. I prefer the Usos, but I think on a fair list, when you look at what the New Day have done, the fact they got Kofi the World Heavyweight title too, I think they're the winner, in truth. The problem with WWE tag lists is they never have allowed their teams to actually like draw any money and go on like main event house shows. So it is very much a mid-card honour. The fact that the New Day broke out and become top merch sellers and all that stuff, you know. Yes, I agree, Collier for praise, but I think that's the case with a lot of these things. Edge and Christian, New Day, and the Road Warriors. The Road Warriors is hard because it was supposed to be just on their WWE work, but then in that case they should have been lower, but they were cowardly and didn't want them to be too low, and they sort of just... I admit to a bias towards Hardys. Gurney Max says the same thing. But he says, it was 99% Jeff, so definitely Usos over them for me. Yeah, look, I want to stress, you know, I will not argue the Hardys being 1, 2, like, they're iconic. And I mean, if you ask most wrestling fans, tag team, they're going to go to Hardy. I think they're very significant, and they did the reunion and all that stuff. Unless I'm missing something, Edge and Christian did that couple years and like never was a team again. So like, I find that hard to put them on that.
Edge and Christian, their last like actual run as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Their last tag team match together was 2011.
That's cool. I might actually try and track that match down.
They did. They did have. I wouldn't call it a run. They had a couple of matches in 2011.
I didn't know that, to be fair. I really didn't know that.
Yeah, they had a couple. I mean, well, Joseph, I don't know if you want to track this match down. They faced Del Rio and Brodus Clay.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
It seems like their last like sort of run together was a couple matches in 2005, and a match in 2004, like literally one match.
Oh, look, and here's the thing I want to stress this again: if we're doing prime for prime big bold, I'm looking at Edge and Christian high. You know, like they can do everything. They're obviously gonna have great matches if allowed. It just was a weird time, and they wasn't around long enough. It's a shame.
So big board for the top five, right? Usos are 5.
No, the Usos were like 6 or 7.
Who the fuck was 5? LOD?
Heart Foundation were 3.
Okay, and then Edge, Christian, Hardys.
Yeah, they might have been 6. I forget, but that was the top 5 was Heart Foundation, the TLC teams, and New Day. Okay. That was the top 5.
Okay, so Usos were 6.
I think so, but you know, it wasn't in the top 5. Is the point? The thing with the Heart Foundation is another one where it's like, if I can take them elsewhere and like drop them into like Crockett and have them go 25 minutes with the Midnight Express, they're obviously going to hit. But like, I don't really like that era of tag team wrestling. So while I think they belong, it's like stuff that I kind of roll my eyes at. LOD was 6. So the LOD thing is so dumb because it's only based on WWE work, and like they were just cowards, right? Like only on WWE work. The LOD's nowhere near. Bless them. Yeah, I kind of agree, Reese. Jim Neidhart is not. He's Jim. I did see something else. I met with Usos, with New Day's top, slammed unusual things, hosted WrestleMania, Hell in a Cell. No, I agree, man. I'm 100%. I mean, they're incredible. What have we got here? The Power Handler said something. It was like, I know it was a Fed list, but in perspective, I'm not even a Bucks guy, but watching them every week now, and I'm starting to think who was ever better. So that's a tremendous comment that we should probably build a conversation around. And I would like to see the chat's takes on this. You're going quick, guys. So if I miss you, I apologise. But I think I'm Cricket just said, who's your top 3 teams all time? Okay. If we're doing an objective list, it changes things because I would like to look at their significance in the industry. But I think that's a boring conversation because then I'll just sit there and list off, house show ticket sales. That's boring, isn't it? No one enjoys that. I'll give you my top 3 teams if they're in front of me on a board. I think the Usos are my number 1 team. This is, by the way, trying not to do teams that were just like 2 great singles guys, because much as I love watching them, it seems like cheating, I would go Usos. I would go Steiner Brothers, Revival. Now, I want to stress, the Steiner Brothers were a very flawed team. Very flawed. And a lot of their matches were them just kind of whacking guys. For me, though, that's a main event act right there. That was an incredible team. I loved the Revival, always will. I have to be honest, if I'm being objective, it would be hard for me to take them over, the route of those teams, which is an Arn and a Tully or an Arn and Oli, because to me, they were better promos, But they're my favourites, so that would be my 3 personally. FTR better than the Bucks. Yeah, maybe. Look, it's all. I think when you get to the top end, it's all subject. Like it's all taste. Like the Bucks are fucked. I mean, they're incredible. What about the Dirty Dogs? Dirty Dogs are a good team. They're not on this top 100, but they're. See, Reese says if you look at the promotions the Bucks has been on, points out, and it's like on an objective list where you like look at everything they've done for the business and where they've been. I mean, the Young Bucks may go down in history as the best team ever. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Some of you may not like this. Arn and Tully, better than FTR. Yeah, I agree. I love take team wrestling, so I could do this shit. I mean, I think it's the most exciting brand of wrestling there is. Every day of the week, if I'm trying to make try to get a casual or a non-fan to enjoy pro wrestling, a great tag match, that could be a roller coaster, man. Reese said, this is good ones. Beer Money and Motor City Machine Guns. Great suggestions. In a lot of ways, to me, they feel like the continuation of those great 80s teams. They really do. I think tremendous. Yeah, the Steiner Brothers are awesome. The thing about the Steiner Brothers is they don't really have the sort of matches where we would sit down and analyze and this is what was genius about it. They just kind of do cool shit. And that's in a weird way, they're like a physical, amped up version of what people pretend the Bucks are, where they're not really thinking about any of this stuff. The Bucks are actually very thoughtful, sometimes perhaps too much so. Criteria shouldn't include single. Yeah, that's the difficulty, right? So here's the thing: if I'm drafting, I may take an edge in Christian because look at what both guys become. Super workers, super promos, over their acts. But then you get into a different conversation, right? It's difficult. American Alpha, I mean, it's such a shame, the American Alpha. Prime for Prime, they're the extension of that Steiner Bros team, probably with a little bit more variety because Gable, I love that team. Unfortunately, their run is so short. They have, the 3 great matches with the Revival. I want to say 3. Yeah, I think 3. They have the 2 takeover matches and 2 out of 3 falls. And then they have a great match with the Usos, and then it's like, it's the end. It's a shame. Full tag team edition of TW. I'm in on anything tag wrestling, anything TW, you know that. The Bucks and FTR were the closest thing to being Money in the Guns. Style and chemistry. I'd love to see Motor City and FTR. I mean, that's one of Dax and Cash's big matches. I think they want to hit. You'll get it one day, I think. Shane Nia, yeah, they're on this list. Butcher and Blade are a fucking hilarious team. They'd have got over huge in yesteryear. But I do think, like, when I do these conversations, I think it's important to note there's such a weird snobbery about thrown together teams. It's like, dude, some of the greatest tag matches ever are not like real teams or whatever the hell, you know? Like the 4 Pillars tag in All Japan is maybe the best tag match ever in terms of critical acclaim. And that's, you know, they're not like a team. Hangman and Omega against the Bucks, they wasn't a full-on team, right? So great wrestlers do great wrestling things. I hate this growing ideology that, like, oh, my favorite wrestler's in a tag team now. They're like being, you know, demoted or whatever. In WWE, it's right, but it doesn't have to be that way. It could be really fun, tag team wrestling, because it has a built-in story element there, right? TW tags, you only get a guy like HBK with DX or Genetti. That could be fun, definitely. That could do it fun, yeah. Because really, you'd have to kind of figure out how you're going to handle which guys are not going to be a team anymore. It'd be tremendous. I know people like Carl and Bob Fish, but Carl and Roddy are all-timers. Yeah, listen, I ain't even saying this because of the shit that Bobby believes in or whatever. I don't know. Bobby seems cool to me, but I don't know anything about him. Play nights. But Kyle was best tag matches with Roddy. Roddy's just fucking a super worker. Incredible. Austin Paul, Jericho. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, another one. Kyle 100 bits for Jesu stressed. I think he's just talking on the phone. He's good. No, that's a good shout, man. So you guys, the power trip match, and it's like another example of it, right? It doesn't have to be limited. Just to exact teams. It's done. Yeah, O'Reilly and Roddy, definitely. DIY. No, there you go. I mean, I watched. I don't want to say dude, like there's one of you. There's 46 of you guys. I watched the Revival DIY series back, and from my memory, 1 and 2 were very interchangeable. 2 is one of the greatest wrestling matches I've ever seen. I know it sounds silly. Like, guys, watch that match. Watch Toronto, FTR or the Revival versus DIY. Oh my god, what a match! What a beautiful pro wrestling match. Look at Ethan and Scorpio. That's not a demotion. Exactly right. And I think Ethan and Scorpio. I don't know Scorpio. Ethan's. I think publicly said he felt like, oh man, tag team. He's a fringe top guy now to me. I think he's getting over huge. By the way, he's just doing great. But I think it's a matter of how you frame these things. You know, like as an Eddie Kingston fan, I can't tell you guys how much fun I'm having with this tag stuff. I think it's so awesome. And in fact, like the folks that really look into like who's the greatest wrestler ever, way more educated on this stuff than I am. A lot of them really, you know, appreciate guys that have these great tag resumes too. So like we talk about Terry Funk a lot on this show because I forced us to, but Terry and Dory had some incredible tag matches in Japan. Amazing. The Men of the Year is such an act, 100%. Forget the promos and the charisma. How great a fucking wrestler is King. Just a master of simple shit across, but bro, he's spitting, you know. I mean, there's actually people that do the thing with Eddie where it's like, and then the bell rang, and it's like, I don't know, man. We just like different wrestling at that point, you know. Like, I honestly think he's one of the most like reliable, like watchable guys. It's just so damn watchable. He could wrestle anyone, and he'd be interested enough in his half of that match. There'll be a story thread. And the one thing he's really great at that I think is something we need to try and, as fans, think about when we watch these matches is like, I remember like the story threads for a lot of King's matches, which is very much a lost art, you know? It's one thing to have a great match, a banger and like, you know, a thriller, but it's different to do something where the story, the actual narrative of that match sticks with me. That's tremendous. I'm genuinely surprised I didn't see Rollins and Reigns on that list. The Shield were on there. They listed them as free. They also had some great matches. Terry and Cactus were amazing tag. I like the dumpster match. That's fun. It's all that stuff. Terry's he's another guy that's watchable. He's fun, right? There's very few wrestlers these days that are like, and then the bell rings. It's the Fiend and Cody from time to time. Yeah, I agree. And I appreciate saying from time to time because it's like, even Cody, he's not really right. And the thing with the Fiend is, I've seen Brian's dragged some fucking incredible stuff out of him. It's wild. I don't know how he does it, but he does. So there you go. Not gonna lie, I want AEW to run back King and Chris Hero if they can sometime. That'd be cool. It's one of the great feuds. I would like to do a long form on that one day. I need to get this. I need to get this 205 project and just keep it rolling because it's hard. There's a lot going on. But one day I'd like to do a long form where I get perspective from both guys. It'd be great. Who do you want to see Ed fight when you come stateside? I have a pretty good idea who's fighting, so I can't answer that. I'm having lots of fun tonight. Thanks to you guys for chatting me. Kylo, you made the theme song for the show. You should be having fun. This is you're one of the top guys around here, pal. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I agree. Look, Brian's obviously a god, but he isn't just it's a carry job, but he also brings life out of Brian. He suddenly cares about wrestling again. It's wild. Ric Flair. I don't know, JJ. I'm with it. It's kind of... Here's the thing with King. Dusty vibes. Bit Mick Foley. Would be my comparisons, personally. And then you just sprinkle some, Japanese King's Road shit, over the top. Another NXT bearing crossing the way of the territory. Gargano saying, yeah, man, that's wild, right? Strange vibe with that whole stuff. It feels weird. Yeah, Kane and Taker. I don't know. I have to look at their matches. I'm not really a fan of either. Kane's just, I don't know, not my thing. Cesaro's a great tag team wrestler. Cesaro is one of the all-time greatest tag team wrestlers. If you actually look, because the Hero team's incredible, and then he has a great little run with Tyson Kidd. He has some matches I seem to remember liking with Swagger, which is that's a serious art form. Sheamus, obviously. Shinsuke. Someone missing, I think, too. He's incredible. I didn't get Brian until he did the him title stuff. He's one of those guys. Some of the greatest pro wrestlers ever are not immediately glaring. He's a guy that sometimes you have to just let it grow on you a little bit, and you'll get her in there and be like, yeah, he's one of the greatest ever. He's not someone that I think goes out there but wow, to me, he's not that way. He's just a genius. He'll win you over. Eddie wrestles like a Def Jam vendor. Yeah, maybe. That's a very different comparison, but I feel it. The chops are something, definitely. The bar is underrated. And then JC has said the bar is overrated. So here's the thing. Are you guys saying... Here's my question. In terms of, match catalogue or skill set, because I think we all love Cesaro and Sheamus as workers. I think I just forgot them a minute ago, which is very rude. But match-wise, I have to sit and think about this. Seth and Dean had very good matches with them. I like the match with the Usos at Survivor Series. Other than that, I must say this, and I think the world of them as performers again. I think a lot of their matches were very good, but I left them thinking they should have been better. Which is not actually a criticism of them. It goes back to what we said about Edge and Christian, where it's the setting. If they could extend those matches a chapter and really sink their teeth into something, I think they'd have more classics. The one thing I will say as a criticism of theirs is I thought they were very lackluster in control. And if you watch the Heat sequence of their matches, I didn't think they were very good at doing stuff with some substance. I think as a babyface team, Cesaro is the greatest hot take, right? We always see that clip posted. So it's one of those teams that if I could plug and play and put them elsewhere, yeah, they're a great team. But I don't know. Match catalog wise, I'm not sure. I'll have to relook. I get you. Yeah, no, I think I can't expect more great matches for sure. Do you think Eddie will get his Mick Foley moment by winning the AEW Championship? I don't know, man. He's at a weird point in his career where, like, I kind of think if you asked him now what his ideal is, he works there for the rest of his life. So I don't know how bothered he is. I mean, I know he talks about it a lot, and I get that. For like, in his mind, he just needs to make this place best he can, and that's why I say Foley, because Foley was very, very selfless. I hope he gets that moment for my own sake, but Foley was great at, like, prioritising the team, which no one does from wrestling. King's similar. My biggest criticism of Eddie Kingston, the wrestler, is sometimes he gives guys too much. I've seen him work guys that the matches would just be way better if he just got on offense more, and he doesn't. Like, bro, I mean, I review these YouTube matches for Patreon, and he'll really be out there just selling. Just selling for, like, just local guys. Yeah, maybe the TNT. It's interesting, that booking we did for Miro earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the route it went. Perhaps King gets the TNT at the Arthur Ashe deal. Maybe not, I don't know. King, I know people hate when you say they don't need the belt, but, like, Eddie Kingston is, in fear of getting too deep here, he's a pretty, like, tragic character. You know? Like, he's a pretty dark side character. He's a guy who always fucks up and gets in his own way, and that sometimes can be redeemed with a triumphant title win, or it could just be that's who he is, man, and not in a sad way or anything. It's just like, here's what he is. I'm not familiar with Ray. I apologise. Yeah, that's it, Amber. Like, he's selling his eye differently. And the thing with selling is everyone thinks selling's bumping now, which annoys me. Bumping's cool. Take great bumps. I love watching a guy get up and take those hellacious bumps, but, like, no, it's not selling. Selling's the next part. Here's a question: which two singles wrestlers make a godly tag team? I would like to see. I'm just trying to think about this. I mean, Jeremy earlier mentioned Joe and AJ teaming up against the Dudley. I mean, that would be pretty epic, right? I mean, they got a good match with the Dudley boys, so I'm sure they could have done something extended. Joe's one that comes to mind for sure. And it's hard. I like a contrast. That's the thing. It's difficult. Difficult to figure out the right mix. For my sake, give me Hiroshi Tanahashi and Eddie Kingston. There you go. King kind of deserves the belt. It would be culmination. You know, look, guys, listen. You don't have to win me over on this one. I'm all for it. I'm just saying I don't know. Like, I don't know how important it actually is. There are guys that need it probably more than he does, if that makes any sense. The Cross and the Fiend, bro. Like, good team. Very good team. JJ says, I had this idea of Eddie, Andrade, Santana, and Ortiz with Conan as manager. See, the thing that I like the visual, but, like, the problem with it is with Conan is like, I don't want him to talk for Santana and Ortiz, and I definitely don't want him to talk for Eddie. But I don't think he fits with Andrade, who would benefit most from Conan. So you end up in a bit of a jam. I agree, I'm correct. Like, if Eddie wins it, he's not going to hold it for long, right? He's just not that guy. He's not that wrestler. That's why the Foley thing works for me. Mox and Suzuki, I loved that match, man. That may have been my match of the year last year, you know? That was a special match. Little did we know what awaited us 2 weeks later or whatever it was. It was a great match. The Fiend, bro, who's the best tag partner? Is the best tag partner for the Fiend, bro, like just Daniel Bryan? We just hope he has the same effect as a partner. Or is it the Fiend-S? You know the guy who I really wanted to see have like an extended tag run in his prime? I don't know if we'll ever get. I know he's doing it now, but like we all know where it's going, right? He's going to turn. Randy's a guy that I think, like, he teased it a couple of times, and again, he's doing it now. I'd love to have seen him really set on the team for a while. Pair Randy Savage with someone in 2200. Is it Mojo Rawley? I think Randy Savage would be like... I think people don't get how outrageous his energy would be if he was just dropped in 2021. I think people don't get how wild it would be. It's very different vibes. Randy Savage and Big E. I could fuck with that. Team Cassidy and Yano, you coward. Yep, good call. Fiend's best partner is Bray Wyatt. Fair. Don't know how good those matches would be, but fair. Does that mean Bo would dress up as the Fiend like he did at WrestleMania? Oligano Lufa team in TEW. Sorry to hear that. Struggle to get over because the game is not aware of the distraction. Yeah, the game misses a lot of the genius stuff. Savage and Orton. Orton's such a weird wrestler because he's a guy that, he's been on TV for, 19 years, I guess. And he's going to retire, and I'm going to be like, man, I wish I could have just seen a little more range from Randy. He feels like he's been doing one WWE TV match for the last 20 years. I think he's great. I love him, but man, there's a guy I'd love to just have some more variety on when it comes to match catalogue. It's a bum. I think he's great. The Fiend's best partner could be Darby Allin. Darby Allin could be my best tag partner, to be fair. He's crazy. Bo dressed as Broken Bray in a promo in summer 2018 when the B team feuded with Bray and Hart. I have no idea what this means. Is this like a thing where the B team was Bo? Right, I understand now. I remember. The B team, that was a hell of an act. Got over. They won the tag titles in that feud, right? It was a different time. Clearly. It's interesting how for so long WWE never it felt like nothing was changed in WWE, and now it feels like it's really changed dramatically. Does anyone else get that? For a long time, it's like, man, everyone just stays here forever, and suddenly it's like, well, half of the roster is gone, so guess you can't talk about turnover anymore. I wish we got to see Shelton and Brock as a team. See, that's what I'm talking. Listen, this is what I'm getting, okay? Imagine a different universe where the World Wrestling Federation is booked like New Japan or some shit. Imagine Brock just doing a tag league with Shelton. Man, just give me 8 matches on a tour. Some of them are going to be shitty. I'm going to review them all. I love that stuff, man. And it's the dumbest perspective because it's purely from history's sake, but I'm for it. Give me those matches. Robert O'Neill says there are Brock Shelton tag matches on YouTube. There you go. Brock hot tag. I just said about Randy. Brock might be the ultimate, if I had a time machine, I could just put Brock in different scenarios for the sake of science. I would, imagine Brock in the territory days. He would never have lost, right? Would not have been pinned for 15 years like Andre. Can't wait for the Brock vs. Bob Holly episode on Brock in Time, exclusively on the stretch. Good plug, Kirby. I like that. Remember when Bo Dallas was the Fiend at WrestleMania? Yes, I do. Tremendous. That was a very funny bit, and then he got released 5 days later, and everyone was like, "Well, we should stop doing that bit." Bless him. Is that true? Actually, when did the Bo Man lose? Bless him. When did he get released? Poor guy. He hadn't been on TV for an awful long time. It's worth saying. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna look it up. Brock would get pinned. It wouldn't be televised. Maybe. The thing is, though, with territory TV, it was. The TVs didn't show the big matches. It was a very different time. You would do squashes on TV and then get to the house, so you'd have to. It'd be hard. Peak Evil Regal teaming with Tim Thatcher would be awesome. There is a team I talked about a while ago. It doesn't make any sense now because he's a top guy. But whenever Cesaro needed another partner, I always thought Thatcher would be awesome for that. I understand now that makes no sense for anyone because Cesaro is upper mid baby and Thatcher is teaming with Tommy Ciampa. So there you go. Brock and Shelton against Gable and Tim Thatcher. Oh my God. Gable, man. Listen, it's his career, but fuck. There's a lot you could do with the Gable. There's a lot of cool dynamics like that, He may be the guy that's most distant from his actual ceiling in wrestling. Might be a hot take, guys, but I think it's true. Oh man, Cesaro and Imperium in Another Life would rule. Yeah. That whole act in Another Life is really fun. Yes, Regal is great. An all-time TV wrestler. Very good at just doing he can in short run time give you some fun ideas and stuff that keeps you engaged. Not classic matches maybe, but that wasn't his job then, Gable would rule the Indies. Yeah, 100%. I mean, Gable's spectacular. I mean, he got over huge in that King of the Ring thing, and they didn't like it and just killed him again. It was sad. Yes, the Regal WCW stuff with Regal is really interesting, and that project will be a fun one for his career to follow, because what happens with Regal in WCW is like he's been very critical of himself because he basically wrestles his match for a while to silence. It really is interesting. Like, he'll be doing like World of Sports shit and the crowd will just not know what to do with it, even against like fringe top guys. But I think that stuff's aged really well. There's a match with Arn Anderson that's about 30 minutes long. And Dave Meltzer give it like the dud. I love this match. There are people out there that love this match. We are lunatics. It's not a very fun match. It's pretty boring. The crowd hates it. But there's something to it, man. And when you watch Regal, you'll see as he slowly Americanized the style and he had some glitz and some glam. It's fun. Very smart guy. Cesaro and Ricochet in some fucked up circus tag team. Do you remember when they did like a feud with Heyman booking? Did a TV feud? That was good. Imagine Gable in the pure title tournament. Gable and Yehire is a match. Didn't he eventually beat Corbin when he was no longer over? Probably. He definitely beat him at some point. But yeah, it's not even that. It's the follow-up to that is worse. Do we know when Gable's contract up? I don't. Dax was messing around with that stuff, right? He was hinting. I don't know when. Grand American Bash 96. Sting vs. Regal's very good wrestling. I can't remember that. I need to seek that out. Regal's one of my favourites of all time. What a wrestler, what an incredible character. Yeah, man. He's one of the most versatile guys. He's one of those guys that probably was too versatile for his own good because he probably should have done more, but got in his way in certain elements, and also it's just he could do comedy. So when you can do that, it's difficult. The finishes do get repetitive. I'm crackjack indeed. But it's the 90s in this WCW. You don't expect good finishes, right? It's the rules. Gable and Utah. Yeah, Gresham's great. Gresham and Gable. Holy shit, Reese. Fuck. Yeah, that's pretty special. Imperium vs. Diamond Mind. Make it happen, Papa H. Good one. Diamond Mind's a cool act, right? We like that. I'm pretty high on that. Just after 1 week, I was like, yeah, I can rock with this. I'm glad that Roddy's not getting lost in the MMA stuff because he's better than that as a worker, and you don't want to waste it. Don't stop him from doing his stuff. Just aggression. Wasn't it Regal with basic exploits? Yeah, so he claims, right, that he did not do that. He claims that, in fact, he was just told to have a comparative match with Bill Goldberg. Goldberg claims he took liberties. Big debate. They still get very upset about this stuff. Very, very upset.
Joseph, have you killed our viewership? What have you done?
Well, is it this okay? 39, that's solid.
I don't know. Del Wilkes passed away, Joseph.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm actually sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I was working on some other stuff, so I apologize. I'm sure you did well. You're a great man.
Thank you, Ray. See, that Dean Ray match, JJ, I have my issues with Dean. I don't want to get in trouble. Do we do anything with Gable Notice as a tag? I don't watch, but I guess not. Not anything good anyway. I wish Marina was in Diamond Mind. Needs to be more intergender stables. Agreed. That's a big thing that I would like to see is a big faction, built around a woman's centerpiece. I mean, it'd be tremendous. I thought this would be a good use of Charlotte Flair a few years ago. Now, I have no good uses for Charlotte Flair. I do like the way she wrestles now, though, where she's like Bruiser Brody. It's really good. It's been pretty wild in here, pal.
Yes, Ray. Sean's been sitting on a Del Wilkes interview for about 1.5 to 2 years because, why do you need to release a Del Wilkes interview? He was going to release it this weekend for Independence Day.
Well then, that's not ideal.
Don't know if that's still gonna happen, but
Yeah. Dom one works for me. Would worry otherwise about Roddy Rand being called up without. Yeah. Yeah, Roddy on the main roster is probably not something we need to explore. In the past. I love the man, but it's just his limitations are inevitably going to get holes picked for him. I have issues with the way Dean's work annoys me. Yeah, I'm be real, EJ. It annoys me. He's very good. I get why people love him. I don't think he was the style of wrestler that people portray him as. This is a bigger topic for another day. I don't want to upset people. But like the ground and pound, like he's like this shooter, and it's like I just find that a lot of his stuff is like equally. Dude, the viewership just died. Very upset about Dean Malenko slander. I just find his style was nowhere near as distant as people pretend it was from the other cruiserweights. That's just my take. He would ground guys, but that was like his least interesting offense to me. I get it, Craig J. He's very popular wrestler. I understand it. Bob O'Neill blowing up. I swear I saw him on the bump. You did see him on the bump. You did see Bob O'Neill on the bump. Yeah, the Dean. People are very upset about Dean. 8 people left within a second about Dean Malenko. There you go.
I mean, you can't slander Dean Malenko on this channel. You can. I don't care. I think he sucks, but
he doesn't strike me as a Jeremy Lambert. I'm gonna be honest.
I legit don't mind Dean Malenko. Like he's fine. I don't mind him. I get shit from the EP. Big Dean Malenko fan, and so when I bury him, she's mad at me.
See, like Reese is catching my idea. I can't even get into this. Like Reese says, people act like he was Zack Sabre Jr. Series. I don't get it. This is my take. I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. He's a very, very good wrestler. What I'm saying is this: he is framed in history as like the guy that grounds the high flyers.
Yeah.
But when he does that, that's like the worst part of all of his matches because he doesn't really do anything interesting on the mat. He's best at like doing his own weird, innovative stuff and basing for the lucha. He's a great base. I just don't agree with the idea that he to me like a Gulak could do that at a way higher level. This is just me. Zack Sabre Jr. His stuff in 96 is pretty good. Like, he has very good matches. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying like Bob O'Neill says Malenko is boring, so I might like Dean again. No, I do like Dean. I just don't think he's an on-timer. Like, if I was looking at the cruiserweights, he's not. Does he work them over there, or does he just grab a hold and sit in it? And then the commentators would talk about like Hogan or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I'm very picky. But he is good, no doubt. Such a cold reception for the Iceman. The Iceman shtick is very good. Anyone that tells you WCW couldn't get anyone over, watch how they present Dean Malenko. It's incredible. The Iceman? Come on, bro. That's killer. I love those Disney TVs where it's like him and Ray and stuff. I love that stuff. Good evening, Ron. Malenko is very. I'm gonna avoid that one, Luke, because I don't want to get in more trouble with Dean Malenko. But anyway, well wishes to Dean. He got punched in the head by MJF recently, right? They need to bring back the rotating ring from those WCW shows. Indeed, they certainly do.
Those rolled. That was great.
The Ray match is okay, JJ. I just. See, I'll get into it more another day because I've already done 10 minutes on Dean Malenko. But Rey Mysterio is very good, Jeremy. Did you know that?
Yeah.
He's alright. No, he's good. He's good. He's at least good, right? He's better than so many wrestlers that people pretend are great. It rules. He really is something.
He's okay.
He's fine. I can't believe. When do you think, Jeremy, you went on the phone? Because I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. Well,
5 o'clock.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I was genuinely concerned about my own voice at some point. I was reading so many. The chat was going very quick.
It's good.
You know.
You can carry these shows by yourself, Joseph. You don't need me.
but it's like when I'm going by what the chat says, it really gets out of hand because the chat is just obviously they watch our show. They're just as wild as we are. So like I'll go from tag matches to doing a deep dive on Dean Malenko. You know. See, I'm happy I found the distraction because I found a stream that shows the proper appreciation for B&C shows. Oh, that's the best wrestling of all, man. You know, that's just you don't get any better than B&C show wrestling that really means nothing, but in history will be analysed by lunatics like me. On one of the watch-alongs, you should do Eddie and Ray from Above Your Shoulder. Oh yeah, that's a good show. It's a good call. We also are going to do. We're going to do. I know that Jeremy and I want to do the Hell in a Cell match at some point. It's like an actual big-time watch-along, which is.
What do we want to do?
Remember, like when we did the Rock and Austin match, we both said one day we should do Usos and New Day in Hell in a Cell. Yes. Off topic, but after seeing Sean's face while Jeremy discussed BP Dub, I want to listen to the distraction crossover with Jeremy and Joe explaining BP Dub angles. I would rather not.
Sean is fine with that stuff. Like he's the one that made the shirt. There's no reason for us to do like a BP Dub shirt. Like, who is this for? Like, he finds that stuff fun. Trying to explain it to Jimmy, I feel like he'd just be like, this is what they're doing, and we just get shut down.
That'll probably be the end of the show.
Yeah. Yes. No. I don't think that would go over well. Sean doesn't care, clearly, because we do it and he finds it fun. But, yeah, Jimmy would just be like, do they do other work? Like, and for Joseph, no, he doesn't.
Nothing. No, I do nothing. Doesn't mean you are protected in that regard. If you ask that question, you're fine. I'm fucked. Robert D. Felice will be in my role immediately. It'll be very sad. I'll be out. Turn your brain off, listen to Bobby and Tony talk shit on Saturday night. Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about. That's what AEW is truly WCW. When you know that when they're gonna have 4 shows soon, and like 2 of them shouldn't be watched by humans, that's when you know they've won. The Juice, I like Hoovy. Hoovy's fun.
The Juicy Juice. I mean, that's an all-time promo, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can't hate on the Juice. Do a full watch-along card of Joe's War and its stop it. Well, we would have, I mean, just like any Okada match, Eddie and Ray.
Let's watch like Okada against a Young Lion or something.
Okay. Usos New Day, and we could listen to Good Kid Mad City, which is this. That's about it. It would be a short card. Wait, why is Natalya the murderer? Why not? So that's the best answer I've got for that. Like she seems like a murderer, right? She's a cat lady. Seems good.
It's not nice.
It's a swerve. It's a swerve. She's a good murderer.
Yeah. I don't know if I.
You don't think it's good to say someone's a good murderer?
Yeah.
I mean, look. Here's the thing with Natty. She seems like a very nice person by all accounts, but there's got to be a level of like lunatic in Natty, right? I mean, look at the people she grew up around. Savages, Jeremy. Animals. Good murderer. Okay. I'll move on from Natty being a murderer. Jimmy needs to just watch a show and just ignore his faults and read the chat, indeed. Taz and Excalibur are a great P-show team. Thoughts on this week's NXT? We touched on it briefly, Kirby, but basically we think that it was a good show, but all of the babyfaces get absolutely murdered on the microphone. They should probably stop doing that. I'm happy for Swerve. The opener was really good too. Natty is for sure crazy. Yeah, that's what I was hinting at, but yeah. What is worse, that money chart spot for Natty or being a murderer? The money chart.
The what?
You know, the money, the like $5 and all that stuff. Remember? Natty, she was worth $1. Natty.
Oh, I thought I was thinking of like something on television.
No, you don't watch the television.
Facts.
That no one would reference television to us too.
Facts. What do you mean what's worse? I mean...
Being a murderer or being lowest on the money chart.
Oh. I guess the money thing. She pulled out notes for that.
My God, our pal SP3 has done his top 10 Canadian wrestlers of all time.
Who does he have?
You ready for this, folks?
Can we get
Here we
SP3
go.
on?
Can we bury his list first?
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
read it.
I'm gonna
Let's
DM
see if
him
it's-
and then.
Okay. Actually looks pretty good, I'm not gonna lie to
Oh, I'm gonna frame it as we're burying your list. You want to come on and defend it?
you. Should I read it before he comes on or after?
No, let me see if he can come on first.
Okay.
You're burying your Canada list on Twitch. Do you want to come on?
He's really put thought into this, and I'm intrigued now. Like, this is a pretty good effort from the SP3.
I hope. I think SP3 knows our humor and isn't gonna be like, "What do you mean you're burying my list?"
It's really mean. When you stop and think about it, it's really, really mean. Louis, I can confirm that All Ego has not even got an honourable mention.
He put the crying laughing face to react to it, so he's seen it. He thinks it is funny. I feel like he's DMing me now.
Natalia is out of the top 10, folks.
Oh no!
Yep, indeed. This is actually a good. I mean, I hope he does come on and talk this because this is fun. She wouldn't use notes for it. She might plan it. Then where the evidence? I don't know. I haven't thought this through. The promotion's getting blown up in a couple of weeks anyway. Robert Roode is not in the top 10.
Oh boy.
Lance Storm is.
Oh
Lance
man.
fucking
You're gonna have
Storm.
so much heat with SP3.
Dude, remember when I was like criticizing Dean Malenko a little bit? I would watch like 10 Dean Malenko matches before diving into Lance Storm, bro. I ain't doing it. I fucking those punches he throws, they drive me crazy. I can't do Lance Storm. Other than that, the list is very good.
Oh man.
Oh lord, SP3 going to get cooked. We're not going to just like assassinate the guy, just jump all over.
We might.
him.
We might.
We might. I love this because Jeremy doesn't even know the list.
No, I have no idea what the list is.
He's just the thing is, you and I objectively are going to struggle to have many issues with this list. Can confirm Everrise are not on the list, Kirby. Chelsea Green also not on the list. I'll check if she got an honourable mention. She did not get an honourable mention. There you go. Alright, it's just naming random Canadian wrestlers now and seeing where SP3 had them on his list. Trish Stratus is in the top 10. Sami Zayn is not.
Wow.
Seems bad.
Wow.
Seems bad. Edge, yes, indeed. Edge is above Kenneth Omega, which is a big controversy.
He said his kid is sleeping on his lap, otherwise he would come on. I've called him a coward.
Fair. Okay, we can date you down to it. Okay. Here's the list, okay?
Alright.
Trish at 10.
Okay.
If I'll be honest, it feels like SP3 made a list and was like, fuck Trish, and then was like, she's at 10. Okay? Trish, Lance Storm at 9. 8 is Kevin Owens. 7 is Christian. 6 is Roddy Piper. 5 is Owen Hart. 4, Kenneth Omega. 3 is The Edge. 2 is Chris Jericho. 1 is Bret the Hitman Hart. Okay.
Alright.
Bret's number 1, right?
Yeah.
Jericho is number 2, isn't he?
I think so. Like, I really think so.
Yes, I am too. Tope Suicida, thank you, pal. We appreciate it. Have a good trip. Okay. Edge, Omega.
Yeah, this is where it gets a little rough.
Longevity goes to Edge, but we have, let's be really honest about this. Okay? Bless Edge's heart. It kind of feels like you could take Edge out of wrestling history and very little changes, and Kenny's already been more significant to me. Is that unfair? It feels like Edge was one of the great cogs on a great wheel. Kenny is like truly influential. Dude, he's wrestling guys in AEW that like wanted to wrestle because they see him wrestle. Jungle Boy said that shit.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I saw Kenny Omega matches and I need like... Kenny's probably third. I think. Fuck. I don't know. Luther was not mentioned.
Yeah, that's a big miss. SP3 says he's gonna watch and he's gonna create a profile to get into the comments. So do we wanna hold off? I want to give SP3 a chance to defend himself.
Okay, tell him to like signal to us saying,
Okay.
I don't want him to be looming here while we assault this list. We did the WWE thing with Benoit, and that's fine. I have no issue with that. I would agree, I'm Craig. It's probably a bit harsh for me to say you could delete Edge from history. Yes, that's harsh indeed. Yeah, I don't know. Edge, he had a great career. Tags, you got tag run with Christian. You got 18 million title reigns. What is the Edge's best singles match?
Something against John Cena.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. It's actually a very good list, the more I think about it. Piper's hard. Piper's arguably
Piper, I don't consider him Canadian.
Right, well, I didn't want to get involved in the technicalities,
Yeah.
I
feel I would ask him to remove Roddy Piper.
just as a personal way.
Yeah. So just can you remove Roddy Piper, and then who would be there after that? Like, you gotta slide Sammy in there, right?
Sammy's got to be on there, yeah.
Yeah.
Sammy's better than Lance Storm. Come on. Fucking hell. Sammy's just so much more watchable than Lance Storm. See, this is the thing. I agree. Reese says Piper's not great in ring, and it's like Piper is like, he's not a guy I really enjoy watching. But in terms of star, he would probably be the biggest one on the list if you counted him. Like, I can't stress enough, guys. He was a humongous star. Like, when he was the top heel of the World Wrestling Federation, it was a big deal, man. One of the biggest villains and just greatest characters we've ever produced. As weird as it's, Brett's obviously there with him. Yes, Kevin Owens is 8. I don't know about that. Don't know about Kevin Owens at 8, I'm going to be honest. No AOP, indeed. Yeah, that's the thing. Sammy has El Generico, but does he have El Generico? Are we counting that? Sources say... Yes, Piper box Mr. T. Probably not the thing to list in this debate, but I agree that is a significant thing that shows how special a star he was. Eric Young is an honourable mention. Generico, he's not a Canadian though, right? He was just a luchador, right, Jeremy? That's the story. Sami Zayn merely pays homage to him, guys. Different people, very different people. The chairman, was he on the honourable mentions list? Let's have a look. He was not an honourable mention.
Oh, there's an honourable mention list?
Oh, there's a bunch. Do you want me to read those to you guys?
Oh, yeah, read the honourable mentions.
Known mass murderer Natalia. Petey Williams, Bob Roode, Tyson Kidd, Josh Alexander, Gail Kim, Eric Young, Sami Zayn, Frankie Monet, and Rick Martel. See, look, Louis knows. Generico's from Tijuana.
Yeah, I mean, you can't count Generico as part of the Sami Zayn run.
Abdullah is interesting because I sense that he has damaged his legacy somewhat by being a how do I say this? Not great in terms of health and safety practices. Is that what I should say? Since that didn't help. Since they kind of got him a bad rep. Pretty good wrestler. Pretty good attraction was the Abbey. Uno and Stu. I mean, they rule. They were not honorable mentions.
I don't understand why Luther isn't on this list.
I just want to apologise to everyone in the chat that was very, very scared when I said known mass murderer because I was.
Yes, I legit thought that's where you were going.
I'd like to apologise to everyone. That was not even intended to be a reference.
I was like, oh, and then you said that. I was like, oh, that's probably not good either.
I would not make light of an actual mass murderer, ideally anyway.
Okay.
SP3 is here.
All right.
So I legit created a Twitch account to be properly buried. SP3 is rather than Twitch. Right, here we go.
At least throw us a follow, SP3, as we bury your list.
Here's the thing, okay? If we're being honest, the list is good. We have some issues. Jeremy, would you like to lead with the Roddy Piper issue? Because you seem very heated about him.
Yeah, as a personal favor to me, I would like you to just remove Roddy Piper from your list.
Hello.
As thank you for
Fightful
following SP3. As Roddy Piper is not Canadian. I don't recognize him as Canadian. Nobody recognizes him as Canadian except for people who put together lists and need to fill out a top 10 and they want to include Roddy Piper.
Wow, you're shooting. Okay, so now the question is, now that we have formally removed Roddy, who SP3 takes the spot from your honourable mentions list? Because this changes everything. Who now becomes 10? Is it Sami Zayn? SP3, is that what we're thinking? It looks like it should be Sami Zayn, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what Roddy actually is, guys. Jeremy is leading the charge on this. I have no idea.
He's just Roddy Piper. He's all out of bubblegum.
Fair. Very fair.
I don't care where he's actually born. Who gives a shit? He's not Canadian. People who put Roddy Piper on these top Canadians list, they just do it to like look smart. Like, I know where Roddy Piper was born, so I'm gonna include him. No one recognizes him from Canada.
Fair. You seem really like more heated about this than you have been on anything.
I'm really not. I think it's funny. I think it's a good bit.
SP3, did this really answer it? Or did I miss it? I apologise to the SP3 if I missed it. Who we slotting in here, pal? We need to get rid of Roddy because Jeremy's getting really upset about it. He just texted me. He's gonna smash his phone, he said. Kyle O'Reilly was not. Okay, SP3 has added Kyle O'Reilly to his honourable mentions and he has put Sami Zayn in at 10.
All
okay?
Right. There we go.
What was our conclusion? Okay, to be clear, SP3, we agree with 1 and 2.
Yes.
What was our conclusion on the Edge and the Kenneth Omega?
SP3 is a fraud and Omega should be ahead of Edge. Because as you put it, Joseph, you can remove Edge from wrestling history and no one really gives a fuck. But if you remove Kenny Omega, the whole wrestling industry collapses.
That was my exact words. Yes, okay. I actually think Kenneth should be above Edge, in all seriousness. What does the chat think? This is what the chat has to say this. Kenny or Edge? Where we going? Come on, folks. What are we thinking? We are horrible. Crackerjet's got Omega. Omega. Throwback says Stu Hart. Fair. Very fair answer. It feels like Kenny's the actual pick here. I'm going to be honest.
I have Christian over Edge. Not Edge guys. Just not Edge guys.
Holy shit. Tobe says this. If you remove Edge from history, Impact's out of business right now. Hear me out. Hang on. What are you typing up here, Tobe? So how deep are we going to get into this? Because is that you threatening with a good time or a bad time there with Impact being out of business? I don't know. I do not know. They pay my pals the good brothers, so I don't want that to happen. Okay. It seems like Kenny is the consensus 3 here. Kenny at 3 is what we're saying. SP3, okay. So now we've got to move down the list of Edge. God rest his soul. One of my favourite wrestlers to watch.
Edge? I don't think he's still alive.
No.
Oh.
I don't think Owen Hart's body of work allows him to be above Edge. And listen,
SP3, what is your criteria? Like, are you doing accolades, in ring, kind of a mix of everything?
I mean, he says greatest, which to me is like when you're really trying to think historical significance and all that good stuff, you know? To me, anyway. Without Edge, Christian doesn't become a star, and TNA doesn't get him. Sure.
Does that mean
I don't know.
The TNA ain't dying? All right, look.
Nothing.
That company, nothing's killing that company. In 50 years from now, we're all going to be on Impact Plus talking about these other companies and how they died.
Okay, so here we go. SP3 says, accolades, in-ring, legacy. Okay, I love Owen. I don't think he can be above Edge. Do you agree? It's just so little there. Like for most of his prime physically, he just wasn't able to have the matches he could have had. You know, it's a bummer, but
Man, longevity gives it to Edge. Like if I'm doing big board though, I'm taking Owen.
yeah, I agree. But in that scenario, we would have Christian.
Yes.
It's hard. It's very hard. SP3's given us that, so I think we should try and work.
Okay. Then in that case, yes, Edge would be over Owen.
And I want to be clear about what I'm saying. Like, I love Owen, but like he was at the point he was at in his career, they had kind of just like he was just left in that spot. Like they wasted a lot of years, great years of Owen. Like I don't think it was going to change things. Like, it's just the way they used him wasn't what it should have been. He's a great talent. Tope says Edge Matt Hardy was a massive feud, arguably what kept Matt Hardy popular until Broken Matt. This is already fucking insane. I think that you can make an argument that without the Edge Hardy feud, Impact never gets Broken Matt and gets bought for NWA cheap by Tony Khan. Dude, there's like a decade between those things.
That feud sucked too.
That rules so much that you went that far to get that far.
That feud also sucked.
And the best thing about it is the idea that either of us give a shit about Impact and after we'd be like, oh man, that's great. I love that comment. That's tremendous.
So SP3 says Edge, 12-time champ, iconic tag team wrestler, faces of ruthless aggression, PG. I'm with you. Look, we'd swap Edge and Kenny, right? Like that's the only change we're making at this point. And then we're keeping Owen at 5. We've taken Piper off, so we're putting Christian at 7. I'm fine with Christian at 7.
Christian's now 6, right?
Yes. Sorry.
I think Christian's above Owen.
You're putting Christian above Owen?
This is going to come across like me just sliding Owen down the list, which shows I'm being an arsehole. I don't want to do that, but like unless I'm missing stuff, like the Brett feud is like kind of an outlier in the last decade of Owen's career because he doesn't get to do the shit. Like Brett gets him on that main event level because Brett knows how good he is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I listen, I love the Yoko team as like a grin, but like fuck man, like he's doing handicap matches. I mean, it's great, but like, you're not gonna have great matches, you know. Like, I don't know, it's difficult.
Owen, you know, I love Christian. I'd still put Christian, and not on SP3's criteria, Christian above Edge.
Yeah.
I think I'm putting Owen over. I'm putting Owen over Christian, honestly.
I love Yoko, Louis. No one loves Yoko more than me. But
that's very true. Like Joseph picked Yoko for our all-time.
In that team, there are matches he legit takes one bump. Like he's, you know. Here's my thing.
Isn't that a credit to Owen? That just like.
It is. What I'm saying is, match catalog wise, it's a credit to how great he is, but it doesn't give him a lot of like.
Right.
I think him and Christian are both guys that. I think Owen's top 2 matches are better than anything Christian's ever done.
Yes, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, and Christian does lack, I think, like classics. My argument for Christian would be, I can't believe we talk about TNA so much in this, but Reese says all-timer for that company. Like, Christian, I've seen Christian as the ace. And I know it was only for TNA and shitty ECW, but like, pretty powerful. You know, like he was great as that guy.
Owen could have been an ace for shitty ECW and Impact.
Here's the problem though, Jeremy. We're not doing big ball. We have to rank on what we saw, you know?
Then that's really going to slide Owen down because unfortunately his longevity is just, it's going to hurt him because he just wasn't there very long.
But awful conversation to have, isn't it? I mean, Owen was only 34. It's terrible. I understand, but like we can't. I don't know what you want me to do, Jeremy. I'm just trying to be a sincere list maker here, you know? I don't know what you want me to do. He is what he is. I can't pretend matches happened that didn't. It's difficult.
That's fair. SP3 says owns teams with Yoko and Bulldog was awesome. Feud with Brett is an all-time best rival. See, like I agree with that. Like, and I agree that Owen's top matches are better than Christian's match. I get your point, Joseph. Like, if you're looking at accolades and again longevity and all that stuff, like Christian's got them. I have. Big board wise, you're taking Owen big board, aren't you?
No.
Really?
Here's what I'd say for Christian.
I love Christian too. I'm not taking him over Owen.
Here's what I'd pair with, okay? It's fair. Those tag runs are cool, but like Christian did the Edge and Christian run, so he's won that part of it, okay? And while it is not as good as Brett and Owen, like, look
Don't-
at what Christian did with Randy, dude. I mean, I love Randy, but that dude didn't give a shit. I mean, he pulled classics out of him. I don't know. I just think Christian's one of like the. I don't think he's a centerpiece guy because I think when he's that, the brands are weaker than they should be. But like, he's so just useful on a roster, and Owen was too. I'm not dissing Owen. I love Owen, but like, big bald style, I can debate it. Objectively, on this scale, I'd have to go Christian.
All right.
I don't know what the chat's at. Can the chat? I appreciate all the actual detailed responses because like.
Yeah, give your pick based on SP3's criteria.
Yeah.
I think based on that criteria, I'd have to put Christian over Owen as well. Big board style, I'm taking Owen.
That's fair. I could have taken Dave with it. I think they're very similar, and I love both of them. They're kind of wrestlers you want on board, right? Like, versatile, great team guys. Okay, we've got a couple Christians. Yeah, that feud's great, JJ. I love that feud. Some of Randy's best ever stuff. Guys, by the way, I totally get what SP3 has Owen there. I mean, Owen's awesome. We all love Owen, but it's hard. Christian. It appears Christian has won this one.
SP3 put Christian Cage. I don't feel like that is.
Okay, fair. This is the thing. Stampede Wrestling is some of like Owen's best. Like I would have to do a deep dive, but WWF wise, I think he has a lot of matches that are fun. I think Christian is a guy who has like and again, a lot of this is based on the era because Christian wrestled for them when they had all those hours of TV. That wasn't how it was when I was there.
Yeah.
You know, like until like the last couple of years, but yeah, it's just different. All time on the big ball, prime for prime, you could take Owen every time and I wouldn't complain. I get it. Okay. It seems Christian has conquered this. Even SP3 is rethinking, which is fair.
All right, so we're swapping. So Christian moves to 5, right? And Owen is 6. So
okay.
Owens and Owen.
I think Owen's fine there. I think Owen's fine being above Kevin.
Okay.
I like Kevin a lot. I don't know.
See, I can hear the same arguments for Christian for Kevin Owens. Is that longevity? He was the top guy for a very long time. I mean, how it went was how it went, but he was the top guy. Owen has the more memorable matches, but when you start to factor in like Kevin's indie stuff and whatnot, like there's a lot to that stuff. Again, I think like longevity just kind of could give this to Kevin Owens, but big board, I'd still take Owen because like you slot in Owen today, definitely. Like he'd crush it.
I would definitely take Owen big ball style. The thing with Kevin is I think he's wonderful, but as a heel in WWE, I did not love his matches like at all. And I know that people pop for the headlock stuff, but like it was kind of a real thing. I don't know. I would argue Owens is actually more influential than Owen. Maybe. I mean, it's pretty groundbreaking that Kev made it to be like top guy in WWE, looking the way he does. You know, like that was a guy that a lot of people laughed at. Like he's never going to be a top guy in WWE, and he obviously did. I personally am comfortable with Owen staying above him. Chat, what do you think, Jeremy? What's your like final decision on this? I'm comfortable with Owen being above Kevin Owens. What do you think?
I am too, because I can hear the argument for Owens the same way as with Christian, but I think you gotta relent kind of on one of them. And
it's time, right? Like eventually, I think we all know it's most likely Kevin will go, but it's just I think for the sake of historical relevance and such, we'll just leave it a bit. I think.
All right, here's where Joseph is gonna get very angry because. All right, so we have Owens at 7, and we have Lance. SP3 is already. We've made him rethink his whole list. So he has Brett.
Hang on a second. Third man says Owens is a better promo than Owen Hart. Do you agree with that?
Dude, Owen Hart was a great promo.
He's just such an obnoxious brat too. Like he was a wonderful character.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get it kind of, but like I don't know. I'd have to sit down and watch some stuff, which I'll never do. But go ahead.
So he's got Owen 6, Owens 7. We have Lance Storm. Lance Storm at number 8,
Sorry, yeah.
Jensen.
Okay, listen. I'm for SP3 trying to like get some variety and show love, but like, we need to get Lance out of the list. I mean, I know he's a good Twitter follower and shit, but we just can't. We can't have him on the list, man. I mean, I know that he did some cool stuff and he was a objectively good in-ring performer, but like, you know, those punches, Jeremy. Oh my, those goddamn punches he would throw. I refuse Lance. SP3. I'm not debating it with anyone. I'm stepping forward here and objectively refusing Lance Storm. Please tell me, SP3, who your next honourable mention is so we can continue with the discussion. I get it, like in-ring good performer, and like he's got a legacy as a coach and stuff, but I ain't playing with Lance Storm. He's perfect honourable mention. I'm not doing a debate about Lance Storm. Okay, so Sammy is already the new 10. Who's the next new 10? Who's the next new 10? So we can continue our conversation.
Natalia. It's gotta be Natalia.
I feel like it's not Natalia. I'm going to be honest here.
It's gotta be Natalia.
Gail
Kim's
Kim's
not a bad call.
O'Reilly's a good shout, right? I mean, O'Reilly's it's great matches.
Bob Roode, right?
Oh, Bob Roode, come on. Bob Roode. He was a top guy in the Total Non-Stop Action and the NXT.
Yeah, which is the equivalent of being the top guy in Total Non-Stop Action and ECW. So I think Bob Roode should actually be ahead of Christian.
Okay. Please do not do that. It's not getting much. SP3 has nominated Gail Kim. Okay. So we currently have got Brett, Chris, Kenneth, Edge, Christian, Owen, Kevin, Trish Stratus. Trish Stratus is the new one we've got to debate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to step forward now. I'll do this for us, Jeremy. We have the utmost respect for all the work that Trish Stratus put into her in-ring performance, and she had a wonderful career. She is in no way, shape, or form better at professional wrestling than Sami Zayn.
I think based on the criteria, you have to put Trish Stratus above Sami Zayn.
Can you remind me of the criteria, please?
Legacy, accolades, and in-ring, I believe. And dude, Sami Zayn, you can erase Sami Zayn from history, and the wrestling world moves on.
You know what?
You erase Trish, like, it's a different world out there.
I hate that this is true, but it's true. Trish is Trish was actually good, but people remember her so fondly. Like, it's wild. She's iconic.
Based on the criteria,
she's above Kevin Owens.
I was about to say, based on the criteria, I can put Trish above Kevin Owens.
Is she above Owen Hart?
Honestly, maybe.
She's above Christian, I know that.
Dude, like, Trish is... Her legacy's gonna be forever. You ain't touching that. You ain't touching it.
This is the thing, this is where this stuff gets hard, right? Like, because if we're being real, like, Trish is probably more influential than any of these people. Because every lady wrestler is like Trish Stratus.
Yeah.
Let's talk about her. She's like also one of the only 2 women there to be recognised as being like important in history. She's like, if we're being completely trying to be as fair as we can here, while balancing the in-ring and stuff, she's probably above Christian, Kevin. No, she probably falls short of Edge. Should we stop her at Edge? Should we go?
I'd put her above Edge.
But Edge, at least with Edge, like, he's like a 28-time champ, so you can kind of, you know.
Sure, but like legacy-wise, you said it earlier, you can erase Edge from history and no one would give a fuck.
I like if she had some good matches, though. I mean, she worked hard, it wasn't her fault.
Remember when she wrestled Lita in the main event of Raw?
No, I do not.
The Mickey match was good, wasn't it?
It was good, right? They boo her in that match. You know, no one ever talks for that.
That's fine if you want to put Trish
okay, thanks.
Below.
Okay, so right now we've got Bret the Hitman Hart, Christopher Jericho, Kenneth Omega, The Edge, Trish Stratus, Christian Cage, Owen Hart, Kevin Owens. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Who we?
Sammy.
Sammy's
was
next.
I think
And
that's
Sammy's just rightly above Gail Kim.
yeah.
Right?
I think Bob
Now-
Roode is above Gail Kim.
Bob Roode. You're really trying to make me fight for Bob Roode here, aren't
I
you?
am. I really am. There we go, Luis. Trish over Omega.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm a Kenny Omega stan now, so I will not. I can't defend that. You're gonna get V triggered, Luis.
It is like we joke about his stuff a lot. But do you remember when Dave gave that 6 star out? Do you remember the reaction online, bro? Was you around for that stuff
Yes.
or like on Twitter?
Yeah.
Do you remember what that did to the wrestling world? People melted. They were like couldn't fathom it. The idea of a scale breaking match is so funny. Look, guys, I do get the influence from. We also have to like. While Trish was very, very good, and if she was in an era that was more generous to her skill set, she could have had great matches. She doesn't really have many great matches, right? I'm sorry, but I'm not trying to be dismissive here, but you know. See, here's the thing. Almac mentions it. Bob Roode, no, not Almac. It was not you. He was talking about something else. It was Reese who said beer money. Dude, when you add beer money to the glorious one, to the it factor, Bob Roode's on here. He's above Gail Kim. You're correct. It was you that fought this argument. You're correct. Bob Roode, folks. There you go. So our list is Bret the Hitman Hart, Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, The Edge, Trish Stratus.
Not The Edge. That's a guitarist.
No, but it's my personal terminology for him. People like it on Twitter, don't worry.
I understand, but like there actually is a person called The Edge.
I know, but he once fell off the stage while playing his guitar, so what is he?
Like you can do it when it's like The Christian Cage and stuff. Like there is no other The Christian Cage.
So I only have done it on this list for The Edge, because there is a person called The Edge. I haven't done it for anyone else. I'm aware.
But you do it with random people. You'll
not on this list, because I'm saving it for the one guy that it actually would... I know what I'm doing here, Jeremy.
I know, I'm just giving you shit.
I'm reading SP3's list and trying to figure out my own list while reading it, and he's giving me enough problems, okay? So here we go. Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, Edge, not Edge, Kenny Omega, Kenny Omega, Edge, Trish Stratus, Christian Cage. That's our 6, okay? 7 is Owen Hart, 8 is Kevin, 9 is Sami Zayn, 10 is Bob Roode.
Yes, that's our list.
Jesus wept. That was hard work. I know why SP3 didn't want to come on here and listen to us dipshits talk about it now.
Dude, anytime you do these lists, bless SP3 for like putting this together. I will never do like an actual list because one, people are gonna pick it apart anyway, like us. We're just gonna be dicks about it. But you gotta like put thought in it. You gotta explain your criteria. You gotta defend this shit once you do it and everything. Like, it's just too much. Yeah, that's why I ain't doing it. That's why I won't do it. But if somebody wants to give us a list like this, then we'll pick it apart.
We'll just
tear
it apart. Yeah. Just ask people to take people out of the list just because we don't want them there.
Oh, I forgot Roddy Piper was on the original list and I threw a fit over it.
At least you had a reason. I just was like, I don't want Lance Storm on the list. Anyone that got bodied by Jack Evans doesn't belong on any list. Okay? See, Pat Patterson. Like, I'm not even doing a bit. Like, Pat was great, man. But this is the thing. We're all very uneducated on the old school shit. So we have to, end up listing, like, Sean Spears and shit as our honorable mentions. It's hard. It's very difficult.
I can't tell you of there being, like, a Pat Patterson match. Legacy-wise, like, just as a producer, though, like,
yes,
he's up there.
So hard, man. He really is. Like, you have to really... People that do his greatest wrestler ever lists, like the ones that are just not even they're just the greatest wrestler ever. You have to watch so much to have just a say, Yeah. Really. I mean, I haven't got one. I know that much for sure.
I'm not sure if SP3 is still in the chat because Do what?
What an awful show this is. Terrible. We're just sitting here just ripping apart his work.
I'm not sure if he's still on the chat because he's actually doing important shit. But appreciate him.
God.
Oh,
Why are we both
he's here.
coughing all of a sudden?
Oh, he's retweeting his new list. We appreciate him being a good sport about this and engaging with us on it because, again, this shit is difficult, and I do not envy like actually putting out these lists to the world because I wouldn't fucking do it. I just wouldn't.
It rules so much. Just imagine talking about wrestling ever. It's terrible, isn't it?
I just would not do it. There, SP3 is giving us. He's revised his list. He has it. He's tweeted it. I'm gonna retweet and say it's still wrong. It's actually. I think the only thing he changed was he has Gail Kim over Bob Roode. Otherwise, it's kind of what we've suggested.
Yes, well, he's not going to throw out Roddy Piper because you don't want him there, and he's not going to throw out Bob Storm because I don't want him there. So, it's difficult. These things are difficult. The one thing is when you do those lists and you actually write like articles with them, you do like slides, and people just don't read the slides. That's always fun, right? Jeremy, have you done that before? The old top tens, and you write full.
Dude, that's all you had to write at Fansided.
That's awful, isn't it? I did one that was like the top 10 NXT Women's Title matches, and I had Ember and Asuka at 1, and like Bayley and Sasha fans just murdered me, just assaulted me on 1. And I had them at 2. Not even like I dissed them. I appreciate it, SP3.
Oh, SP3, you were national fraud and lack of charisma. SP3 is the man. I still like that. My intro to you was, hey, we're burying your list. You want to join us? And you laughed because you get us. You get us, SP3.
I mean, you put these things out there, and we need stuff to talk about, don't we? We just did like an hour of radio on that shit, It is what it is, folks. You got to find these things. That's what the Bubba Ray Dudley did yesterday. Just found something to talk about. Said, I'm going to talk about this. I haven't listened to it because why would I? But someone said to me like Dreamer and him had this really bizarre conversation about it where Tommy was like, I thought it was cool.
Oh,
he
God.
He didn't really know what to do with it.
You're of the opinion that he's working, right?
Oh yeah, he spoke about wanting to work. King.
Yeah. Okay.
In his mind, bless him, he's like, I could really get Eddie over. Which is really sad because, we all know why. I know.
Yeah.
God bless him. SP3 should do a top 10 Aussie wrestlers. I feel like it'd be more challenging, to be honest, yeah.
Andy Hartwell's number 1. Number 2.
Okay.
Big fan of the Andy Hartwell.
Any reason in particular, or just like she's good at wrestling?
I just think she's good. She's very young, and I think she has high upside.
It's probably not the best reason to list someone number 1 on the wrestling list, but I get. Who is actually like the consensus Australian wrestler?
Who is Buddy Murphy?
This is what I'm thinking. I don't want to be like a dipshit and forget someone really obvious. I mean, Bud Murph is pretty fucking awesome, isn't he? Okay, I've ended up on prowrestling.fandom.com. I'm looking at pictures of Rhea Ripley, Indy Hartwell, Bud Murph, Bronson Reed, Emma,
Cassie and Billy. Yeah, Rhea counts, I think.
So Buddy's the best then.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it is Bud Murphy.
I mean, Bud Murphy is one of the great workers in our time, isn't he? He may be a Kenneth Omega cosplayer, but he's a very good one.
Do you know they call Kenny Omega better Buddy Murphy?
I still don't know that's a thing. I think it's the other way around too, but there you go.
It is, but now I'm an Omega stan, and so like I'm riding for Kenny Omega and not Buddy Murphy.
Hang on. Rhea Ripley's not from New Zealand, right?
I don't know. They're all.
She's Australian.
They're all the same,
right.
Joseph. If it ain't America, then
Tony Storm's New Zealand. There you go.
If it ain't America, you're international. That's all I know.
That's some serious like Jim Ross doing this.
I know.
Another international panel. She rips Australia. I don't know. I get confused. With this stuff. Tony Storm was born in New Zealand, though, right? She's getting very heated now. Dakota is New Zealand, I think. New Zealand is objectively a different country, guys. I can't stress that enough. I understand it can be confusing, but I'm now getting very scared that we're all just naming the same wrestlers and I don't think they're from Australia. I do not think they are from Australia. She moved to Australia young and trained there. Got you. Okay. So she reps. I understand that. But she's not on this list. Dakota is Kiwi. I'm pretty confident.
They're all the same.
TMDK. Wow, we're going that deep, huh? Okay. I mean... Oh, Ray, this is getting out of hand. Let's not talk about the Australians anymore. This is very scary. I'm going with Robbie Eagles, who interviewed him. Yes, I'm going full Nick Wright on this one, says SP3. Very fair. That's very fair. You should always be biased for your interview. We definitely would never do that.
No. That's why we don't interview people anymore, because we don't want to be biased.
Yeah, that's exactly why we don't interview them.
We could interview people if we wanted to.
Of course we could.
Yeah.
Who are we going to interview at Full Gear?
Who are we going to interview at Full Gear?
We're going to get someone.
I mean, besides Luther?
Yeah, we're going to get... You know it's going to happen. You know that TK is just going to line someone up for us, and we're going to make a mess of it. You know this is going to happen. I'm seeing this already in my head.
We're going to interview TK. What if we interview TK?
I would love that, but I would prefer... What I envision is I'm at the zoo with Robert O'Neill, and then you text me like, Joe, you need to get to the arena now. Like, we've got a room, and we're interviewing, like, who would be the most outlandish guy? Not Zicky Dice. Someone that's on the room. Who would be a real hard interview for us? Like, not because they're bad, just because like you and I wouldn't know where to go with it. Taz.
I think we know where to go with that. Unfortunately,
I think he'd have fun with that in person. He would not like it.
Yeah.
Afterwards, but in person he would laugh. Maybe.
Yeah.
Brian
Cage.
Yeah, Brian Cage. We can interview us. I get this Brian Cage, and we're just like, so man, when Taz is there, like, do you like Taz? And like, yep. It's like, what about Ricky Starks, man? Like, do you like him?
Is there anybody better than you?
Yeah, and he'd be like, nope. Well, okay. Pac doesn't do interviews. Hook would do good numbers because everyone wants to know more about Hook.
Yeah, I've interviewed Phoenix before.
Eddie Kingston wouldn't be an awkward interview at all. It'd just be like, I'd have a lot of questions.
Yeah, Joe, I would say nothing. I would just be like, so you still want to fight Trae Young? Like, I would want to talk about basketball. And Joseph's like, this Misawa match from 20 years ago. What are you thinking when you watch this shit?
It's facts. I think, here's the thing though. You mentioned recently me appearing on his vlog. If I'm dressed as a Men of the Year, that could be quite the interview, you know? That could be a special interview. Marco Stunt would be a good interview. I like Marco Stunt.
Marco is he's very shy. He's very shy.
He is?
Yeah.
I've heard different things from different people, but I understand.
Really? Well.
Not to try and interview him, though. Or in very other activities with the Marco, bless him. I like him a lot. He's great. Have Bob interview Ty Conti? No. That's bad. It's real bad.
I would love to interview Britt Baker again and I wouldn't do just TW questions. Legit, one of my favorite things from Full Gear a few years ago was when my opening question to everybody was, so what do you think about Soul Train Jones? And I asked this to Britt, and she's like, huh? I thought we were talking about the match and stuff. So I think I would like to interview Britt again. Britt rules. I'd like to interview Santana and Ortiz again. They seemed like they liked me.
Now that would, see, to me, here's the thing, guys. I'm not, sitting here pumped to do interviews. I think Jeremy and I would do a really good job, especially in person, of like a traditional sit-down interview. Just talking. Santana and Ortiz would be great at that. That's, to me, the ones that appeal to me. I don't think we're going to do interviews because everyone's going to be so busy. The key to me is just doing a podcast with Jeremy in person. I don't, care. But, like, within the kind of, if we could imagine an interview, sitting down and talking would be great. FTR, I mean, I love the FTR guys. I'm sure they'd do like gimmick stuff and stuff. That'd probably be fun. Bob O'Neill interviewing Ty Conti is like enough to make me sweat.
We don't want Bob O'Neill interviewing anybody.
No, we don't.
Literally especially anybody.
Especially women that he's asked to kill him. It's not good. It's just no good for anyone. It's
So
just
what's your
its own.
favorite way to murder somebody?
Yes. Oh my god, I can't. I actually can't even shake this fault now, man. Like this is like the idea of Bob just standing there with a mic talking to Ty Conti about murdering him is one of the funniest. Because Ty Conti's energy is such that I don't know how she would react. I just feel like she'd try to have fun with it, which is very scary.
Orange Cassidy is because I mean he's just Orange Cassidy, so like he's very easy to just play off of. You know, like you can
The
ask
Good
him
Brothers.
something. Do what?
The Good Brothers is a good one. We would have fun with the.
Oh, dude, the Good Brothers would be. We might, Joseph. We might be able to do that if you want to.
In St. Louis right now.
Yeah. Well, both. Both.
I feel like we could get an interview with them.
Yeah, we could.
Thing with it is I love Gallows, but he's like a shark, isn't he, on these things, you know? Like you go to Gallows, what about this? And he goes, reminds me a lot of Talking Shop Mania 3, which is up on Fight TV this weekend at 9:99. He's like an animal, you know? Now, if we did it in person, I think he would have fun, but I've seen how he does them things via like Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
Savage, it's an animal.
I
Relaxed.
legit think we could do an in-person interview with them in St. Louis if we wanted to. I'm pretty sure we could set that up.
I have a great question for the machine gun that no one has ever asked, and I can't say it here because people steal it. It's very good. It's a WWE New Japan thing that I think you'd have fun with. I'll save it for St. Louis.
We could ask Gallows about dying. He knows about that. I mean, if we brought it up, he certainly would not remember it, but he does.
I think, you know, they could figure out a lot of stuff about us. We're pals, right? Extended pals, you know? They should put over my shit, Jeremy. You know that.
Yeah.
Joe and Bob dressed as Men of the Year. Interview Men of the Year in a hotel room like it's Paige's highest podcast. Dude, but listen, I love Bob. I love him. He would be so bad in that setting. I have no ability to phrase it. I would not be good. Bob would be unfathomable. Do you imagine if Bob sitting at the end of a couch with me and Ethan Page? It would be very, very bad. I promise. I promise everyone that would not go well. Orange Cassidy Bob segment could work. I could see the thing.
Yeah, we could. I mean, I don't know if we could do it, but I can see how that would work.
I see a world in which, like, Bob asks a question, Orange sits deadpan. He's just like, pretty good. Pretty good. Like, you just cut back and forth, you know? What's up, guys? It's just Orange sitting there. What would we title that? At least it would be like Bob O'Neill meets Orange Cassidy.
Oh my God. Could you imagine?
That would be our peak.
It would be. It really would be. Could we have Bob dress like Orange Cassidy with the jacket and the glasses?
I think my brother is going to dress like Orange Cassidy in St. Louis. I'm very alarmed by this information.
Should be.
I will be dressed like Ethan Page, and he will be dressed like Orange Cassidy, which rules. I'm in tears imagining Bob and Orange sitting in silence looking at each other. But Bob just doing small talk. My brother, he's a skinny white guy with a short haircut, so like I guess he looks like Orange Cassidy. Sunglasses. Get him the jacket. I think he could do it. Pull it off. The best friends are terrible interviews and talking horses. I love all that stuff so much. Pac and Bob would be good. Yes. Yes, that's perfect, Franco. That is exactly right. Tubes off Soccer AM. Yeah, that's some Brit talk, but that's tremendous. Dude, see the ideas we have. We're gonna end up just doing an interview of like, I'm not gonna name anyone, but you know. I'm very concerned.
Legit question. Do you want to interview people in St. Louis?
Well, on that show.
I mean, on our show in St. Louis, like...
In St. Louis, I think it could be fun in the right... But I don't want to be like... This is the problem with it, okay? Sean is one of the best interviews in wrestling, so if they're going to do something for Fightful, they should do something with Sean. And in addition to that, I don't really want to be like media around guy. That would be pointless, because there's two of us.
We're not... I can promise you this. We're not going to do, like, media round stuff. We're not going to go around and interview a bunch of people.
Yes.
If there is like a star cast, then I mean Sean will probably do it, honestly, because like he does that stuff. I do believe we could set up just like an interview with certain people.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to do Luther. I think that's just Luther and
Yeah,
Serpentico. Like, we will sit down in the Chaos Project layer and talk with those two and
absolutely.
just,
Yeah.
just do something with that. I think we could do the Good Brothers if we wanted to.
There's also one other big problem with the Good Brothers. Will they still be in AEW by then? Because they are not actual elite wrestlers.
Yeah, they will be. 100%
Do you
they will be.
think?
Yeah.
Did you hear the Machine Gun's shady answer to that "Where will you be next year?" question? Did you hear that shit?
Yeah, I think I wrote an
Where he
article
was
on
like,
it.
yeah, I like the folks at Impact, love the folks at AEW. We'll see. I was like, wow, this guy's
Yeah.
really he's another one, man. They're sharks. You gotta be careful with those guys. It would be kind of
I
they just leave Impact, bro. That'd be kind of brutal, wouldn't it? I mean, bless them. I love them, but that would be kind of harsh.
I think that I think that he will. I think they'll be around AEW and they'll be there and everything. SB3, thanks, buddy. You were yes. You can come. We can talk NBA finals for sure. I hope hope your daughter does not wake up your son. Thank you for coming on defending uh, your list and everything. Thanks, buddy. You're always welcome, whether it's a Twitch or whether it's the main show. We'll figure something out. I think the Good Brothers will be around. And if they are, I think we could do it.
Well, I'm all for it. You know that. I mean, solidifying my place in Bullet Club would be great. You know. Did you hear their podcast with Vince Russo?
Nah, I skipped that one.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
I did like the part though where Vince goes, I hate the in-ring part, and Carl Anderson goes, I do too. He's like, say to the Bucks, they only want to see us do the too sweet. Why do we do all this other shit? Tremendous. Oh my God, Tope Suicida is fantasy booking the Bob O'Neill Orange Cassidy. Tremendous. See, I agree. Like, Good Brothers after Kenny is probably, after he loses the title, is probably gone. But I don't know. I mean, the thing about the Good Brothers is like, God, people just love them. Like you get the vibe, right, Jeremy? Like the folks at AEW just want the Good Brothers to be there, don't they? They don't give a shit about their matches or their promos. They just want them to be around. They're funny, so they may just stick around forever in that place. I don't know. By the way, they're back on the New Japan scene, the Nuge.
Yeah, they're doing strong, and I mean they're definitely going to Japan once they can go to Japan.
They're doing pretty good. They're the blueprint, those fellas. They do a lot of shit.
They're very well liked.
They are, man. You know, I know that people on Twitter get upset or whatever, but like, the wrestlers just adore having those guys around talking shit.
They do, yes.
The Good Brothers are like Kenny's Virgils, but that's very mean to the Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Gallows would accept it. Virgil was a Carney brother. They'll end up in AEW permanently eventually, maybe. I don't know. Impact's been good to them. I guess, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they haven't been good, I don't know, I'm right there. Yes, I need to watch New Japan Strong. Enra, I do.
People enjoy the New Japan Strong.
It sounds like something I would like, in the sense that it's just like a simple hour of professional wrestling, you know? I'm for that. Yes, TJP is very good. Shame. They'll be at Wrestle Kingdom. Wonder if they'll wrestle the GOD men in a 3.5-star thriller. Dream match. I hope Kingston murders the Good Brothers like The Undertaker did. Holy shit!
Now that's a
Just
little
kills them.
harsh.
I don't want Eddie Kingston to kill anyone, let alone the Machine Gun Carl Anderson. No. It's filth. Bob and Orange comparing what they have in their pockets. Bob would absolutely be the guy that has loads of just weird objects in his pockets. You know that, right? Just different things that he's collected along the way in his time as a Twitter superstar. Who does the commentary for New Japan Strong? I think it's Kozlov and Kelly. I don't fucking know. Kingston literally admitted to murder 2 weeks ago as a top paper for his company. I'm sorry to hear that. The thing is about murder is it's bad, isn't it? And you should try and avoid it. Edward Kingston runs over Gallows like that one kid in Impact. Kirby, I need to start watching Stardom. I know. Someone got really mad at me because a week ago I was like, I'm back, man. I'm energetic. I'm going to start watching Stardom or some shit. And some guy DM was like, hey, man, that's disrespectful that you listed the start. I was like, I was being serious. I need to start. I'm just, there's a lot. And then when you talk about it a lot, it becomes even more. It's just difficult. Ruby Soho is her name now, apparently. Is this news? Is this new news, Jeremy?
No, I posted about that 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. First time it's put on my Instagram. I do like Kevin Keller. He's excellent. He's definitely very good. We've done 2 hours, Jeremy. We need to go home.
Yeah, I got to make burgers for the family.
That rules. Just a very simple adult life of 4 hours of wrestling talk followed by burger creation here, Jeremy Lambert. Tremendous.
You got an air fryer, Joseph?
I don't know. This, by the way, this is outrageous that we've done 2 hours and 5 minutes of this program because I have no idea what we talked about, which is not ideal. But there you go.
I don't either because I legit missed like 45 minutes of it, so I don't know what you guys talked about for those 45 minutes.
Well, nor do I, nor do they. So there you go.
All right. Let's see, everybody. We'll be back in fucking like an hour with the Impact co-stream. It's Canada Day. I know Joel Pearl will be around. Steven Jensen will be around. I don't know who the third person is. I think it's Viscera, but I'm not positive. Took you a second, Joseph. It took you a second.
You said Mabel. I don't know.
I no. Mabel would have been. Yeah, that would have been the giveaway. You gotta. I was a thinker.
He was a thinker. Clearly, I did an aneurysm.
So yes, Impact co-stream, and then nothing until Monday. No Twitch stream tomorrow. I'll be traveling. Everybody, please wish me safe travels. Sean thinks I'm going to die, so I would prefer that not to happen. Something bad happens every time I go on vacation, Joseph. Every time I go on vacation, something bad happens. And I have an 8-hour drive tomorrow and then an 8-hour drive on Monday. So potential for bad things to happen.
Are we doing a show Monday?
If you want.
I mean, we're supposed to do a my match, but like if you're driving for 8 hours, it feels that's kind of long for you.
Yeah, I'll be back like 2 or 3, and then so it's just like hop on Twitch. You just want to play it, like maybe we'll do it, and maybe we won't.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard. We'll do something of some kind sometime next week.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely be back on Tuesday, I would imagine. Yeah. We'll be back rolling Tuesday once I get back with everything. All right. Yeah, Distraction Choice, patreon.com/thedistraction. You can support us, help us buy the NWA. We're getting closer to our goal, I think. I feel like that stock keeps going down every week, so it won't be too long before we're able to get it. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate the support. Go watch today's flagship show. I thought it was our best one. It was a tremendous show. Quite possibly our best one ever, Joseph. Let's see who we can rate. Dude, we're going to interview Tony Khan in St. Louis. You're going to interview both of us. And we're just going to keep saying the same shit.
This would go poorly. Tony's very impatient because of his high blood pressure as well. So, yes.
We'll rate Colt Cabana because we just did. Well, I didn't do shit, but Sean just did an interview with Colt Cabana. So go over there, put over that interview. Tell him you saw the interview today. Even if you didn't watch it, just say you watched it and make them feel good. That's what people do with our show. I don't think they actually watch it. They're just like, "Hey, great show today." Like, thanks, man. Appreciate you. Y'all enjoy y'all's night. Everyone have a good weekend. I will not speak to y'all too much this weekend. So everyone have a good weekend. Happy 4th, happy Canada Day, whatever. It's coming home and so celebrate the Euros. Whatever you're doing this weekend. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Talk to y'all later.